Hello there, welcome to another video. Let's talk about how to detach. I know that sometimes detachment may seem cruel or cold, but it's more of taking care of yourself before losing yourself and letting others take responsibility for their own actions. You know, it's crazy that sometimes we put people in a win win situation, but they still end up losing. So you find yourself in a position where you start asking questions like, is it really a loss or is it a redirection? Because come to think of it, you did everything right. You were trying to look back and put two and two together, but you can't seem to understand where you did anything wrong, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that people are perfect. What I'm trying to say is that you know you did everything right on your part. You loved right, you communicated right, but at the end of the day, they still end up fumbling. And this is what I mean, you put a person in a win win situation, but they still end up losing. And this is where we have to understand that rejection is redirection to something bigger and better. And it's only fear that keeps on clinging on something that holds you back. Listen, we have to understand that some people were meant to be in our lives to help us grow. Some people are only meant to be in your life to help you discover new restaurants. And that's okay, Once bitten, twice shy. At least now you'll be able to know how to handle things better so that it doesn't repeat itself. At least now you'll be able to spot a red flag just by inches away. Don't let anyone take you back to a level you've already leveled up from. It's either they grow with you or you outgrow them. At this point, make it a one-way traffic. It's either this or this. Don't stand still for anyone. You have been there, you've done that, and what good did it do to you? Exactly, nothing. So it's time to move on. Focus on where you're going and not where you've already been. I am not the biggest expert when it comes to relationships, but if there is one thing I've learned is that if they wanted to, they will do it hands down, no questions asked. So don't be out here trying to belittle me so I can fix him. I mean, if you can fix him, good for you. But as for me and my house, I have learned to let God fix the things that are way beyond my control. And I'm not even kidding right here. Like, let God fix you respectfully. Like, if you're not willing to date to marry, get out of my husband's way. You can't change a person who doesn't see a problem in their actions, because it reaches a point and you say that these mistakes are not mistakes anymore. They are more of a habit. They are more of that person's character. And you're like, I'm not built up for this. I did not sign up for this. And you can't even get mad at them because this is who they are. This is their character. But you decide not to deal with it because honestly, you deserve people who bring out the softness in you and not the survival mode in you. You can hold love and care for a person with good wishes without having to directly involve them in your life, because you have realized it's unlikely for the person to change their behavior, and being around them just makes you feel so anxious and drained. It's better to adjust to their absence than be frustrated by their presence, because there is no need for trying hard for a person who doesn't try hard for you. You have tried being Bobby the Builder. What did it get you? Nothing. It didn't work. You have tried being patient with the person. It didn't work either. Sometimes you just have to let them miss out on a good person because you can't force people to see a blessing. I am trying so hard right now to sugarcoat this, but there is no way I can go about it. Everyone is out here fixing everything, but when it comes to their souls, that's when they draw the line. You ask yourself why you keep running back to that situationship. You ask yourself why you keep running back to the person holding the knife, while clearly you have scars all over you. You ask yourself why you keep putting up with the disrespect when all you ever served at the table is respect. And I know that sometimes we play slow and dolulu, but honestly, we can't be this dolulu to say that these are just dark forces that are trying to hold you back for something better. So pray about it. Bind and break that force that keeps you from seeing the truth. And I know this may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I rock with it. And I know it may also help someone up there. Your ego might say to you that you trying to fix that man or raising your concerns is what ruined your relationship, but in reality, you're just disappointed because things did not work out the way you thought they would. And the situation is honestly still the same as it was prior to you raising your concerns. Listen, don't let your ego make you cry over a closed door that has absolutely nothing behind it. And just when you thought someone was solid and you finally met the love of your life, surprise, surprise, let people do what they do so you see what they'd rather do. What I mean is sometimes you don't have to take it personal when people disappoint you. Just be glad they uncovered the masks earlier on. And honestly, sometimes we get disappointed not because of the person, but because of our expectations. We set a high bar. Just because he has a beard does not mean he's grown. Just because he said he's different does not mean he's going to act right. Of course, he's different. He's a different type of disappointment. What else did you expect? The sooner you accept disappointments do happen, the better. And I'm not saying that you should be negative or automatically expect for a failed relationship because that will be self sabotage. Rather, look at it like a gamble. I know this may not sound right to some people, but it's either you win or you lose, honestly. It's either you serve the breakfast or you eat the breakfast. One of the hardest things about setting boundaries is coming to terms with the fact that some people will not agree with your boundaries. What people fail to understand is that boundaries are not meant to change people's behavior. Either they're meant for people to see your value. They are more of you respecting yourself enough to walk away from things that violate your value. And it's funny how the moment you've decided to set boundaries and take a step to detachment, these people try to spin the block and have their way back in your life. Listen, you have to love yourself enough to stand on business and don't allow people to show you twice what they've already showed you once. And I'm not saying that you should hold grudges. It's more of they showed you who they are and now you cannot unsee it. Because sometimes it's important for people to feel the impact of their own actions. Let them be accountable for their own actions. Stop beating yourself up for things that were not your fault. Like I said, rejection is redirection. I know it takes a while to know the difference between who to let go and who to be patient with. And as humans, it's impossible for us not to make mistakes. But how we correct them and try not to repeat them is totally under our control. It's always cool with them when you say nothing and let everything slide. But the moment you start checking things and setting boundaries, that's when you become sensitive. Don't let anyone make you feel crazy because you figured them out. You are not selfish for wanting the same energy you give. Because at the end of the day, if someone really cared about you, they will be mindful of how their actions make you feel. All in all, I know you can't just stop loving someone. I know you can't just stop caring about someone. However, if you have to repeatedly repeat an issue, if you feel drained, their presence just wears you out, you start assuming the worst, then you might have to rethink your decisions. I don't know how to say this without sounding delulu, but as much as these men have shown us colors we have never seen in a crayon box before, as much as they've left us in the desert without water countless of times, I still believe that there is love out there. The love where you don't have to bring the masculine energy out of you. The love where you don't have to beg for flowers. The love where you don't have to teach someone to love you right. You get what I'm saying? So let yourself detach and heal. Don't rush the process. And when you're completely healed, attachment will stop looking like connection. The bare minimum will stop looking like effort. And attention will stop looking like love. And this is what love brings me to the end. I hope you liked it. And if you did, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in my next channel.